Ladies and gentlemen, Equality California Executive Director Rick Zbur.
So good evening. Welcome to the 2017 Los Angeles Equality Awards. We had a few elected officials that got cut off from the teleprompter earlier tonight. So I actually have the great opportunity before I start to introduce some folks that are with us tonight that we missed introducing earlier. Ambassador Diane Watson, former member of Congress, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Los Angeles Community College District Trustee Scott Svorkin, Commissioner Ari Ruiz of the LA County Commission on Insurance, Assemblymember Eloise Gomez-Reyes, Assemblymember Evan Lowe, who will be with us in a few minutes, Long Beach Mayor Robert Garcia, who was with us earlier, LA City Council member and co-chair, as well as Mayor Garcia, LA City Council member and co-chair of this event, Mitch O'Farrell, Kathy Paspalis, Culver City School Board, Baldwin Park Mayor Pro Tem Susan Rubio, and a sponsor of this event tonight, Malibu City Council member Laura Rosenthal, Hacienda La Puente School Board member Anthony Duarte, Coastal Commissioner and endorsed candidate, Equality California endorsed candidate for Assembly District 51, Mark Vargas. He's one of our co-endorsed candidates. And Board of Public Works Commissioner Heather Repning. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight I want to recognize a number of individuals who built the foundation of our organization and are also with us tonight. Our former Executive Director Jeffrey Coors and former Equality California and Equality California Institute board presidents. And it takes a lot to be a board president. It's a really heavy lift. And we've got a number of them here tonight. John Duran, who's a co-chair of the event tonight, Carrie Davidson, Clarissa Filion, Andreas Meyer, Joyce Rowland, and Diane Abbott. So welcome them. I also want to personally thank each of them and our current and past board members and members of our newly formed Board of Advisors, as well as members of the Equality California staff. I'd like the members of the staff to stand up tonight and be recognized. They work so hard all year long. And a special shout out to the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, who does so much for Equality California, as well as to all our volunteers, including from the Stonewall Democratic Club and the Trans-Latina Coalition. Finally, before I start comments, the strength of our movement depends on the support of allies who advocate for us, educate others, and stand shoulder to shoulder with us. Folks like Mike Lurie and Lori Hazenkamp, who we just honored, Adam Kagwin, Amy Corderola, YC Lama, Sharon Stone, and Senate Pro Tem DeLeon, and so many others who are with us in this fight for equality. So to all of you who are allies with us tonight, I want to thank you. Two years ago tonight, we were celebrating a milestone, the decision by the Supreme Court that made marriage equality the law of the land in all 50 states. So, with marriage equality behind us, we began making plans to tackle the things that were left to achieve for our community. For example, enacting the Equality Act, achieving non-discrimination protections in 32 states that still allow discrimination, eliminating the huge disparities in health and well-being that the LGBTQ community suffers compared to everyone else. Huge disparities that are even greater for people who are transgender, undocumented, or part of a community of color. As a result, we launched a bunch of programs and advanced legislation to address high rates of LGBT unemployment, homelessness, and poverty, conditions caused by long-term systemic discrimination. We trained thousands of healthcare providers to provide culturally competent care to LGBTQ people. We began to focus on our schools, where LGBTQ kids are twice as likely to drop out as others because of bullying or lack of acceptance in school or in their homes or in the community. And then, November 2016, the election happened. What have we seen in the 7 months since then? What we've seen in the 7 months since then has never driven home for me more starkly the old adage, elections matter. So, 2 years later, we are here in the fight of our lives. We see a rise of intolerance and hate. We see a president targeting LGBTQ people, Muslims, immigrants, and women. A cabinet and a White House filled with bigots. The rollback of guidance and executive orders protecting LGBTQ students and people. A ban on service in the military by transgender people. An attempt to rip vital health care away from 33 million Americans and to defund Planned Parenthood. White supremacists and Nazis marching boldly in our streets. So how do we respond to hate when our communities are attacked and targeted? Well, we need to do all the things that we were planning on doing before, and then we must do even more to fight back the new challenges. So at Equality California, we hired a national policy director in Washington, D.C., and went to work mobilizing our community to protect the Affordable Care Act. We made over 10,000 patch-through calls from our members who live in Nevada, Arizona, Maine, Ohio, West Virginia, and Alaska to their own senators. We actually have members in all those states. We've hired field organizers in the Central Valley, Orange County, and San Diego to mobilize our community to register voters, fill town halls in 7 congressional swing districts right here in California that we need to take Congress back. With the pro bono help of Latham & Watkins, and we have a whole slew of folks in the room tonight, we filed a lawsuit in federal court to block the transgender military ban. And we are already lobbying for legislation in Washington to allow dreamers to remain and become citizens. In Sacramento, we still do a lot of work in Sacramento. We sponsored 15 pieces of cutting-edge legislation, more than in any other year in our history, so that we would show them that we are going to continue moving the needle forward in California. These include a Seniors Bill of Rights that will protect seniors in long-term care facilities. No longer will seniors be required to room with a homophobic or transphobic roommate or go back in the closet after bravely coming out at a time when doing so in their life took great personal courage. We passed a bill that makes it easier for transgender people to change their gender markers on government documents, and that creates a new non-binary gender marker. Both of those laws have passed and are headed to the governor's desk. Another bill helps thousands of gay men, and you haven't heard about this one because we actually haven't been publicizing it because it was so controversial. But we have another bill that helps thousands of gay men primarily, although some other LGBT people are included as well, who were unfairly and unjustly added to the sex offenders registry. There are thousands of LGBTQ people who are on that list for consensual adult same-sex activity, for doing something as innocent as holding hands or kissing in a park, because it was same-sex activity and viewed as lewd conduct. Their lives have been ruined, not able to live near a school or get a job. That bill was controversial because of the subject matter, but we at Equality California and Senator Scott Wiener decided that it was time to tackle this injustice, and the law I am proud to say that the law passed the legislature last night at around 1:15. It was one of the last bills that passed. We had our friends in the LGBT caucus helping us. We had our lobbyists running down to the speaker's office. We were texting each other, and we got that thing passed. Finally, we're working with partner organizations to sponsor a bill to modernize discriminatory HIV laws, the one that you learned about a little bit earlier tonight. I'm proud to say that that has passed and is heading to the governor's desk as well. So you can see the bills we're doing are meaty, they're required, they're important. In our schools, the haters are emboldened and out in force. We're fighting in the Fresno School District where the board president is refusing to implement laws that we sponsored that protect LGBTQ kids. We're also fighting a second coordinated right-wing attack at the Rockland Academy in Northern California. Hate groups are sending hundreds of people to object to efforts by a kindergarten teacher because she read the book I Am Jazz by Jazz Jennings to a kindergarten class, and she did that to help a 5-year-old transgender child who was in that class who was working with that child's parents. So we're mobilizing our side to support the school, both at the school board and in the press. There's a school board meeting Monday night where we're expecting 1,000 haters to go when we're trying to match that number. I want to close by thanking my boards and really all of you for giving me the really incredible opportunity to serve our community. As I told my board today, I love my job and I feel an immense responsibility. Every day when I go to work, I think about people like Ashley and Monica and Jaylon, who you saw in the film earlier tonight, and about that transgender 5-year-old child at Rockland Academy, and the patriotic transgender service members who bravely joined us in bringing us a suit a few weeks ago. I think about LGBTQ youth who are homeless, transgender people who can't get a job, people living with HIV and who face incredible stigma, and the dreamers whose ability to work and live in this country is in significant jeopardy right now. I think about them and millions more like them and how important it is that we as a community together do everything we can to create a world that is healthy, just, and fully equal for all LGBTQ people. It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege to serve in this role, and I thank you for standing shoulder to shoulder with me and the rest of our incredible staff and our boards. We have so much work to do, but we will keep fighting for you and with you until the work is done. Thank you very much.